Good morning. It is 10 o'clock, and this is Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, and I am happy to be with you this morning for another edition of my catalog kickoff for this new Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. I'm going to give it just a minute or so and let it spool in, and hopefully some of you will find me. You could either be watching on my Facebook business page, Ink and Inspirations with Lisa Brown, or it will be live on YouTube. So if you will, say hello, let us know where you're watching from. I'd love for you to comment and say hello. So I want to apologize because I have Mr. Brown is doing some work outside of the studio here, and I don't want to slow down his progress, so I didn't say anything. I think it'll be okay. You might hear a hum in the background. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, Kathy, you're on YouTube. Everything's okay there then. How's everybody this morning? Okay, I'm going to get started. We had the first part of our kickoff on Thursday evening. I was extremely confused with how I went live with that. I believe I said it was part two when it was part one. But anyway, I'm back today. We're going to look at two Christmas cards or holiday cards or winter cards, however you want to look at them, and talk a little bit about them. They're fairly simple to make, so I want you to just take a good look at them and see that this is something that you could do to make your Christmas cards. Good morning, Linda. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, I'm going to point my screen downward and we're going to get started. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first card that we're going to be making is using this beautiful Oh Holy Night suite. So I got all of this. I just loved it. I love the color scheme. I love the religious sentiments, and just it's just beautiful. And so right now though, this part of the suite, which is the, let me get the name right, the Stars at Night Hybrid Embossing Folder, that is not available at this time. Okay, but that's okay. We can work without it. Hey, Diane, and I'm going to show you a card I made, and it's beautiful without that particular embossing and die. It's a hybrid where you can emboss and die cut at the same time. And this is on page 14 and 15 of the new mini catalog. Yes, Linda, it is. It's just absolutely beautiful. So anyway, we're going to be using that for our first card. I'll be using this stamp set, well, let me just show you, the Night Divine stamp set. Look at those. Look at that. And then this is the Stars at Night stamp set with this other bundle. Okay, so I'm going to be using these star stamps out of this. Okay, you'll be seeing lots more from me with this particular suite, so just stay tuned. All right, let's see. Let me go ahead and put the catalog out of the way, and I will show you my card. So this is the card we're making. I made real good use of the designer paper, okay? Just couldn't decide which scene I wanted to use, but I really like how you can cut it apart and use the different scenes for your backgrounds for your cards, okay? So let me show you the paper. I think I have all of it here. And, okay, so we have this desert scene, okay? And then a pretty print on the back that can be used for any time. And look at this. Now, I had thought about using this for my shepherd, but I felt like he might get lost here. And this is another option for the card I'm making today. Okay. but I liked the village in the background, so that's why I chose that one. And then here is an all over print, and the colors they use in here are just beautiful. It's the copper clay and crumb cake. So these papers could be used for fall theme cards as well. Okay, so very versatile. Oh, here's the Starry Night. Beautiful. And then a balmy blue print with little stars, starbursts all over it. Then we have this beautiful color wash, okay, in blue. Would make a pretty background with maybe some embossed stars. And then here is another wash, and you can see that print barely there in the background. It's just really pretty for background, but could be used for any time, right? Here's another print with those fall themed colors. Or really, it's like, I know they chose this because of the sand, sand and desert. And then another star print. And then we have this one, which could be used for fall. And then this is the page I used for this project. So what I did is I cut my paper at 5.5 going across here, okay? And then I cut off a little bit of the bottom so that I could have starry sky and the grassy field as well outside of Bethlehem. Okay, so anyway, you'll see how I used it on that card. Okay, so we are going to start, and I forgot to put my post-it notes on here. Okay, so this is 4.25 by 11. Y'all know how I always put post-it notes. Let me see if I can add these quick. 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5. Okay, so that's for that Night of Navy piece. And then I have this piece here cut from the designer paper, and it is, let me move my camera just a little bit. This is cut 5.5. I wanted it to go from the top to the bottom and then have a little bit of space on the side. So that is 5.5 by, goodness, I put 3, but that's not right. Let me measure that. Let's measure it. I think it's 4. 5.5 by 4 for the designer paper. Okay. And then you're going to need some scrap in the black. Look at the Holy Family there with the shepherd and one of the wise men. And then a scrap to cut the little lamb. I'm going to show you these dies too in a second. And 2 pieces of very vanilla cut 4 by 5.25. And I say 2 pieces, I think we just need 1. Okay. So that's going to go on the inside of the card. All right, let's get started. Let me show you these dies and what I did. So I just wanted the shepherd, okay? And so I have, look at this, you've got the manger scene here, with the little archway there. Makes a really pretty frame for that. You have a camel, a donkey, a cloud, a lamb that's sitting, and then there's this little lamb that's standing. And then you have this one piece, so, and 2 clouds. So this is a very easy die to work with. It's not like you have all of these little pieces, okay? Which I love that, because you know what? Me and little dies, I lose them. So anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, my paper snips, and I'm going to cut the shepherd off. And then I can use this on another card. And I'm going to show you another card made by a friend of mine where she cut this part off and just used Jesus, Mary, and Joseph on a card. Okay? All right, let me put that out of the way. These are the 2 pieces I'm going to need. Here's my designer paper, which does the work for me. Don't you love that? And we are going to position them here. So let's see. Okay, that I want this in the background there. So I'm going to put him over here. Okay, so you can see this was another part of the scene here. I didn't have a building behind him, but this is going to work. And then my little lamb is going to go there. But first, what I decided to do is put the sentiment directly onto the designer paper by embossing. So let me get this out, my foam mat, and then I'm going to put the stars are brightly shining. Now you could put Oh Holy Night, which let's change it up. Let's do it different than I did the sample. I'm going to put Oh Holy Night on the outside here. And so what I'm going to do is get my Versamark ink. And this is a pretty large stamp, so I like to lay it flat on my surface and then ink it up like this. Let's get the embossing buddy here and get some of the static so the powder, embossing powder doesn't stick everywhere. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and just stamp it right there. Give it a good press and pull it up. So you can't really see that. I can see it. It's a little shiny there. So I know that it took. I'm going to get some white embossing powder and have my heat tool ready. And then let's just open this up. I like to keep it in a container here so I don't try not to get embossing powder all over my work surface. Okay, I think that's going to look nice. Look at that beautiful font. Okay, so I like to flick the back a little bit to get some of that excess off. And let's heat up the heat tool for just a second. And then, oh my goodness, it stopped. Okay, sometimes that happens to me. Okay, so the heat tool has stopped working. So I'm just going to leave that like that and we'll try it again in a minute. I have a short. I'm going to try a different outlet, y'all. Nope, it's the heat tool. Okay, so we may not be embossing this today. I may just wait. That's happened to me before. If I get it, I should have gone to the low setting first and then to the high setting. But we're gonna make this work. Okay, so this would be embossed. All right, and then I'm going to put some liquid glue. So let me tell you another plus about these die cut figures here. There are no faces and it's basically a silhouette. And I love that because it makes it super easy. You know, you can just die cut them in a neutral color. And depending on your background, you could go light or dark. You could even use like the copper clay and like do your animals in different colors. So I'm going to be experimenting with that. Okay. All right. So there's that. I'm going to move that aside and take my inside here and I'm going to stamp the stars are brightly shining on the inside in Night of Navy. Okay, I like that. Now we're going to use the lighter color stars in Balmy Blue. I say the lighter color. The stars from the Stars at Night stamp set, which is also in this suite. And let's see, I want to do it like this. I'm going to tap that gently. This is photopolymer, so I need some cushion underneath just to make sure I'm successful with my stamping. And this is a lighter color, so I'm not going to worry about if I go over the Night of Navy sentiment there. Okay, I like it. So pretty. All right, now let me get this ink out of the way. So you can see you can make some beautiful, simple cards using this suite. It doesn't have to be hard. The paper is amazing. There is one specialty paper that is not available right now. It's supposed to be available next week. I'll show you that in a minute. It's really pretty. I have a card design that I hope to use for my card ministry at church. I say our card ministry at church. All right, let me check my heat tool. Nope. Okay, I don't know, folks. It may be worn out and I may be buying a new one. So I'm going to be very careful and just leave that like that. But you can see what it's going to look like, but it will be even brighter. Okay. So we're all about pivoting, right? And doing to make it work. Okay. So I'm centering that side to side and it goes top to bottom. Isn't that pretty? So to embellish that just a little, I have it right here. Y'all, this is just so frustrating when you have everything ready and then it's like, where is it? I have my some rhinestones, just the clear rhinestones, and if I can't find them, I had like about 4 of them left. Okay, it's probably right in front of my nose. Y'all know me. Y'all are used to me. I do this all the time. Okay, so I don't know where those are. So, and I have them. I'm going to find them. They'll be right here, where somewhere. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to use, I could use iridescent. What do you think? Let me take a peek and see what that does. Yeah, I'll find those rhinestones as soon as I finish this. You watch. I mean, I even have my take your pick tool with it. Okay, let's see. Is that too iridescent, or you think that'll be pretty? I'm gonna go for it. Okay, and then I'm going to use 3. Oh, don't do that, Lisa. I forgot I hadn't embossed that. And I'll do one more. And I'm using the little ones. These are the iridescent rhinestones that are in the annual catalog. So that puts a really pretty sparkle to it. Can you see that? Okay, so this needs to still be embossed, but there is our card. So do you see how you can let the paper do the work for you? It's amazing, isn't it? So let me show you a couple of samples that I made, or in that another one. This is the one I'm planning on doing for my, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Diane. Um, my card ministry, our card ministry at church. And so it's got this, he shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to just emboss it on like a lighter color blue, like balmy blue. This particular technique is where I blended like balmy blue and then misty moonlight and then went around the edges with Night of Navy. What do y'all think? I mean, it doesn't, there's a certain angle where the light hits it and you can see the embossed sentiment there, the verse. But I don't know. I might want it to show more than that. So I may do it on like balmy blue. So here, this is the paper that is not available right now, but it's supposed to be available next week, and you can bet I'll be ordering that because I think it's a beautiful accompaniment to the gold in this paper. These stars are on back order now, okay, but they'll be back, and I believe this ribbon is too. But isn't that gorgeous? And for the foil, the gold foil on the back, so that I didn't use a huge sheet of gold foil, I just cut a half-inch strip and glued it behind this panel of designer paper, okay? And then on the inside, I just put joy and peace, okay? Now let me show you another card by my friend Karen Titus. Swapped with her at backstage, and this is her beautiful card. It's the fracture technique, which I'll be doing soon. But look, she used the Jesus, Mary, and Joseph in Night of Navy, and she just cut off the wise man and the shepherd. Isn't that pretty? And she used some of this oxidized paper, which is also in back order right now. But I love how she incorporated that because of gives it the glitz. She has the 1 star, and she's got this copper clay. Or no, that's pecan pie in the background there. I think that's really pretty. Okay, blend a little lighter. I might try that, Linda. I sure might try that. Um, I want that gold embossing to show up, you know? Okay, I'm going to move this little card that needs to be embossed on the other side of the room so that I won't mess it up. And hopefully Mr. Jackie won't say pick it up either. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and do the switcheroo. We're going to be working with that cute polar bear bundle. I just love it. It reminds me of the Coca-Cola bears. So let me show you in the catalog where that is. Move all this stuff out of the way here. Here it is. The Berry Cute bundle. Okay, so there's a punch that goes with this bear and also fits in on the thank you, Diane, on the designer paper, y'all. So cute. I love the colors. It's got the red, the green, traditional Christmas, plus the blue. I love it. Okay, so we're going to be making a pretty simple card here to show you that you don't have to go all out because the product is just fabulous. The paper and it does the work for you. Okay, so I am going to, if I find it, show you the paper. Okay, so this one reminds me of those Coca-Cola commercials, you know, with the polar bears. Isn't that sweet? This would make a beautiful scrapbook page. Do I have any scrapbookers out there, traditional scrapbookers that do the 12 by 12 still? I know there are people, but I don't know if any of you do that. But this would be darling. Look at this little one. Look it up. And then we have a little starry print on the back. And this one is, I'm using the punch cuts out this one, this one, and this one. It's the one where his little paw is out like he's walking. Okay. So, and then you can fussy cut the rest. Okay. And then here is reminds me of a sweater knit or socks. Then you have some other cute animals that you would see in a winter forest that could be fussy cut and used. I mean, look at his face. It reminds me of what's that reindeer on Frozen? What's his name? I should know that. Huh. It's Olaf the Snowman, and what's his name? That's who he reminds me of. And then another print like a sweater. Look at this, how cute. So I can see using like this for a card front and putting a sentiment right here, very simple, or cutting around this. You could probably circle punch this. Spin! Thank you, Kathy. Spin. That's what he reminds me of. Spin. Okay, so cute, cute little images here, and then just a overall tree. And I love the white background here. So pretty. And this one with, I'll show you a card that I made with this, with the polar bear prints and the gifts. And then a snowflake pattern. And then look at this one. Just lots of Christmas gifts wrapped. And then the old olive, or that's the mossy meadow, I believe. Probably both. Old olive and mossy meadow print there. I'll call it the sweater print. That's what it reminds me of. Kathy, thank you so much for that little tip. Okay, so now let's look at the card we're going to make. Get it up here. Okay, so this is it. Isn't it cute? It's just a punched piece from the designer paper, but you could also stamp it. I'll show you an alternate there. And a Merry Christmas, okay? And then on the inside, I just had a scrap piece of strip of the designer paper, and I glued it on the inside, okay? All right, let's look at what we're using here. I think I did use my Post-its here. So I've got another 4¼ by 11 scored at 5½. And y'all know that anytime I mention a 4¼ by 11 card, you know, sometimes you want it to open like this because it could be an easel card, or, you know, something where you've got a design that this lends itself to it. But you could also do this same card in 5½ by 8½ where it opens like a book, and it'll be the same front, because the size here is the same. Okay, so know that you can interchange that. Many times I will use 4¼ by 11 and do like this because they're easier to photograph like that. Okay, they stand nicely. Okay, so there's that piece. And then I have a bear from the designer series paper that we're going to punch. Okay, and I'll explain this little guy in a minute. Let's keep the Post-it notes. I have a scalloped contour die that I cut 2½, or you can use a 2½ by 4¼ piece of designer paper if you don't have the dies. These are the dies that I used here. This one, okay, that's what I cut that out with. And then, what was it? This one for the bear. All right, it's a good set of dies to have. Then I have this one, 3×4, but it's die cut, but you could use a 3×4 piece of Very Vanilla, and it look the same, just won't have the scallops around the edge. Here's that scrap strip that's either 1/2 or 3/4 inches wide to use for the inside of your card. And I have a 3/4 inch strip of Real Red and a 1/2 inch strip of Very Vanilla to stamp and back my sentiment. Okay. And then for a little bit of embellishment, I have a tiny piece, about 1.5 inches of that Balmy Blue Sparkle Velvet Ribbon. Isn't that pretty? Can you see the sparkle? Okay. All right, so let's get started. So we have our base, and somewhere, that's probably what that other Very Vanilla piece was for. 4 by 5¼ for the inside. All right. So we have our card front. We're going to leave this naked. No stamping on it. We're going to make this easy and quick, like if you were doing an assembly line card. So first of all, we have this piece right here, 2.5 by 4.25. Okay. And so that's going to go here behind this scallop, but you can see there's not much showing. So a little trick is to take this baby and eyeball it and cut in half. Bam. Okay. And then we're going to eyeball it and glue it in the center of the card like that. Make sure your tops and your bottoms match and your scallops are on the outside. And we're going to glue that like that, and it's going to look like a piece that's going all the way across. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those down. When I turned over and look at the back with these animals, I thought, oh, what did I cut up? But this is a good little backdrop for our polar bear and our very vanilla scallop. All right, so I'm going to come across here and put that down, and that looks good. All right, so now we're going to put this on because we're just going to build up off of that. Okay, normally I would tell you if you were doing some stamping or directly on this piece, I would tell you to hold up, because if you mess up, you don't have it stuck to your card. I say mess up if you have a happy accident. Okay, so there's that. So now let's look at our bear. So here's the bundle. Comes with Very Cute and the Bear Punch. And then I cut this bear from the designer paper so I would be able to cut it out. And it's a small piece. And so if I were putting it in here, it would kind of get lost in the shuffle. Okay. So I made a handle. It's just a scrap piece of whisper white, basic white cardstock. And I put a little bit of adhesive behind it so I'd have something to hold to slip it in. And then you're not fighting it. Let me get the bear. Let's see, line him up. Okay, I'm going to come this way. Use my right hand to center him. Okay, and then pop. And then you just have this left over and discard it. All right, so this little guy, look, he's cute. It's going to go right toward the top, okay, because our sentiment and ribbon is going to be down here at the bottom. And then I have some embellishments that go underneath. So let me show you some alternatives if you don't have the designer paper. So first of all, I stamped this guy from this is the one that is, you can be punched out. It's this image from the stamp set, okay? And the punch matches him perfectly. I stamped him on basic white. I used the scarf and my Stampin' Right markers to color the little scarf, to have a colorful scarf there. Hi, Carol. Welcome. And then I took my Pool Party Light Stampin' Blends and went around the outside edge, kind of to mimic what's done here. You could use Balmy Blue too. I like to use Pool Party. It's pretty light. And so that makes it stand out a little more. So you see, you could do that too. Okay. Now, if I was using it here, I may use the blue and the red, but this one I decided to keep the paper the same with this bear. He's just cute in his green and red sweater. Okay. This is another one I tried, and I stamped it in smoky slate, but you can barely see it. So I think I would use Memento Black to stamp your bears because it just shows the detail a little better. Okay. I also used a little balmy blue on these little shadowed areas as well as around the bear. Okay. Just a little tip. All right. So that's going to go there. I'm not going to glue him down yet. Okay. I'm going to wait until I've got all my pieces together. So here is where the 1/2 inch strip of Very Vanilla and the 3/4 inch strip of Real Red come into play. I have the Merry Christmas mounted already. This is from the stamp set. It's a good Merry Christmas sentiment. I'm looking for my foam mat. That's right here in front of my nose. And let's put that. And then I'm going to use Real Red to match the background. Good morning, Debbie. Okay, so now I'm going to ink this up. Check it out. It should be okay. I always cut my piece longer than I think I need it, okay? It's hard to see. I got some ink. I need to put it on this dark background. Now, okay, so what I do next is close this red ink and then take my paper snips and just cut and cut. Okay. All right, and then I have this, cut this a little wider at 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to just glue that sentiment over top. Hey Patty, good morning. Until, so that I can have a colored background. I didn't want the Very Vanilla against the Very Vanilla. I thought it needed a little color in the background, so this is how I do that. Just layer that baby up and snip away. Okay, so now this is going to go here. And again, I need to leave space for my little gems. You can use rhinestones. I'm using the glitter adhesive back sequins. So let's play with that. Okay, looks good. Now, I wanted some of that ribbon there. Okay, so to maximize the use of my ribbon, instead of putting a piece all the way across, you guessed it, I'm much better, Patty, thank you. I mean, it's been up and down. It's been like, oh my goodness, I'm tired. Kind of, my energy level is not great, but I'm having fun creating. So I'm doing okay. I just know when I need to take a break, you know. Thank you for asking. Okay, so I'm cutting the ribbon in half. And let's see. You know, I'm going to do the same little technique I did up here. Okay, so let me see if I can find my silicone mat. And I hear Mr. Brown coming around again. He must be going to start cutting some more wood. All right, there. Like that. And then on this side, now I'm not angle cutting that yet, so I can see. Hey, Catherine. Thanks for watching from Tennessee. Good to see you. Oh, you know what I mean. I can't see you, but glad you're here. Thank you to those of you who are here watching the live. I'm going to do a drawing later. And if you've commented, that's how I know who's here. I'm going to be sending a little prize. Okay, so now I know this one's cut that angle. Yeah, Patty, that's what I've heard. Kathy, have you gotten your energy back to normal yet? Okay, so see how I did that? And now I'm going to cut a little bit more off of this end. All right. Okay, Pam, that's fine. I'm glad you tuned in. Okay, so now I'm going to decide where I want to put this. So the bear is going to go closer to the top, then here, and then I'm going to have bam, bam, bam. So let me go ahead and put my bear down. I think I'm going to use liquid glue so I can adjust him a little bit if I need to. Okay. Isn't he so cute? Just love it. Good, Kathy. Glad to hear it. I'm ready. I need to start. I really haven't had the energy to do my walking. That is not a good thing. um, some of you may know, I don't know if I've told many people yet, but Jackie and I, with some of my family, are going to the Holy Land in January, going to Israel. And I've got to get my walking up back to speed. I need to be able to walk 2 miles at a time at a pretty good pace. And I was there, but then dang COVID. And okay, these are adhesive back glitter sequins. Y'all, I have no idea if these are on back order or not yet. But y'all hang in there. It's worth the wait. And you can get it done. Let's see. Let's see. I used a big one in the middle. And these are just flat sequins that are glittered. So you see I put like Stampin' Seal Plus behind this to glue it down. I was talking when I did it. Oh, really, Diane? I'll have to talk to you afterwards, see how it went. And then I'm putting 2 little ones on the side. Look at this vintage paper piercer, y'all. Remember that? It's from, oh, good, Lisa. Come on, get them in the straight line. This needs to come down a little bit. Come on. There we go. Okay, so let me do the inside of the card. Super simple. Use those scraps of paper. Just line that baby up. It doesn't go all the way across, but it doesn't matter. If you want to, you could do this. Make it fancy. You know how we like to be fancy with just a simple cut. All right. Let's put it on the inside. Now, isn't that cute? And it was simple, right? Simple enough. And really, like I said, you don't have to do the die cutting. You could just cut the paper, okay? Like this. Let me measure it for you. So that's 2.5. I can't see because of the glare. By 3 3/4. Okay, that with the scallop, you know, you would want that length there. Thank you, Pam. And then this piece here, remember, it was just that's 1.5, 1.5. So that's probably 3 by, let's say, 1 3/4. Cut that baby in half and layer it just like we did there. I mean, you can do it. Okay. All right. There's that. Let me show you another card that I made. Now, when I show you these extra cards, they'll be going up on my blog with the details and all that. Thanks, Carol. Um, so look at this. It's like a double card fun fold. I don't know what to call it. But look, I did the mama bear and the baby bear. Warm wishes. Stamp some of the trees. Okay, then it opens up like this. Look at cute. Christmas is better together. Isn't that cute? All right. Okay, so let's see what else I have to show you. Okay, there's just a couple of announcements. First of all, next week on my blog and on our Thursday night video and on our Saturday morning share is all about Halloween treats. Look at that bruise on my hand. I don't even know where I got it. It's Halloween treats. And even if you don't create for Halloween, you want to watch it because you can use it for anything. All right. So lots going on video wise next week. So be sure and check my YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube, this is where those videos are going to go. And then they will also go on my blog. And then I'll try to share them on Facebook too. So next week, Halloween Treats Week, some fun stuff coming, y'all. And then also the week after that, I'll be having my monthly card class, which I'm going to focus on the Autumn Leaves bundle. And that will be card kits free with a purchase, a minimum purchase of $50 or more. Okay. And then I will also be announcing my product spotlight, which I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Well, not really. I don't have any projects yet to show you, but I'll be using the Polar Bear Memories and More cards and the cards and envelopes to show you how you can make a ton of Christmas cards with this kit. Okay. You may can add some extra, but be sure and tune in for that. Be sure if you purchase this, the cards and the envelopes, then you're going to get a special PDF and a video to that you can make the cards. Okay, it won't be a video that everybody gets. It's just if you purchase the Memories and More cards and the cards and envelopes. Okay. All right. So I'll be announcing that this week on my email newsletter. And be sure, if you are not on my email, because that's where all the information goes out, it's at that link right there. Okay. Be sure you're signed up for my email so that you get those because that's where the information is and the reminders and all of it. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're on YouTube, if you give it a thumbs up, thank you so much. And if you share it even more, I'll do a prize drawing probably in the morning for someone to get a little prize that commented on Facebook and YouTube. And I will talk to y'all soon. Get ready for Halloween week next week, okay? All right. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.